Hey everybody, you're listening to my podcast Suchitra's Life with me, Suchitra. And the book that I'm going to talk about in this episode is a memoir written by Shantanu Naidu, and it's titled I Came Upon a Lighthouse. And the lighthouse he's referring to is Mr. Ratan Tata. So, this memoir chronicles the journey of how he met Ratan Tata and their friendship. So basically, Shantanu had joined Tata Elixir as an employee, and he was working there. And meanwhile, he founded a small startup that dealt with animal care. So basically, he noticed that many dogs they just die in the accidents at night times, and also the people who drive their vehicles can't see these dogs. So he came up with this idea of attaching a reflective collar, and that's how Motopause, his entrepreneurial venture, was started. And egged on by his family, he sent all of this information to Mr. Ratan Tata's office, and guess what? He gets a reply to the work that he was doing, and he was invited to Mr. Tata's office, and he shares his idea, how it began, and what are their vision and mission, and that attracts Mr. Ratan Tata a lot, and he ends up investing in Motopause. And slowly their companionship grows into friendship. And throughout this memoir, you could see that Shantanu was trying to put focus on Mr. Ratan Tata as a person, as a human being, not so much as a businessman. And I quite liked it. This book was less about business, but more about how Mr. Ratan Tata is like in person. And you could see that this book is filled with really cute illustrations done by Sanjana. Those are actually really cute, and even though you are an adult, you will totally fall in love with those illustrations. Shantanu talks about how Mr. Tata had acted like a guidepost in terms of his choice to get into an Ivy League college, to get an MBA, and how he sort of helped him in the process. And then how Shantanu, after going to Cornell University, how he found himself quite lonely over there, and he manages to adopt a dog and names it Winter. That was really heartwarming to read. And then he comes back to India to join Mr. Ratan Tata's trust, but eventually he ends up acting like his a personal secretary come everything, which actually is a 24/7 job in a way. And Shantanu also totally defends Tata Nano, and he still says that it was one of the best things that Mr. Ratan Tata gave to our society. And once you read the backstory of Tata Nano, I'm sure you would agree with me as well on that. And This book, um, it felt like you are getting to know Mr. Ratan Tata. And in the acknowledgements, Shantanu does mention that Ratan Tata never ever had asked him to change his manuscript. When he was reading the manuscript of this memoir, he never really asked Shantanu to change anything. So it's pretty much the original perspective, the reality, which I quite liked it. And one crucial thing that Shantanu talks about is how Mr. Ratan Tata had helped our country in the time of crisis. That was the recent COVID-19 pandemic. He describes how Mr. Ratan Tata, though he was in isolation because he is an octogenarian, though he was put in a different apartment room altogether, how he had managed to still help our country. That was described in detail. And not only Mr. Ratan Tata, even Shantanu had played a crucial role in doing his bit during the pandemic. Like, he went around the streets to feed the strays out there, which was really commendable. All in all, it's a memoir that you can read and you can feel quite how do I even put this? You could feel like it's a friend who's describing his life to you. Probably at few points in this book you would feel like Shantanu is your pen pal. So the way he describes his stay at Cornell, or his beautiful friendship with the three ladies in the chairman's office, Deepthi, Parizad and Denzi, that was really funny. And you would understand that it's so rare to get such kind of bonding with your colleagues at a workplace. That rarely happens, but I'm sure Shantanu got lucky because he got Titi, Denzi and Parizad who groomed him from the very first day. And I really loved the way he talks about their bonding. All in all, it's a book that you will totally enjoy it. And if you are somebody who's keen on knowing Mr. Ratan Tata, not just professionally but even personally, like how he is as a person, this book is the one. In a couple of instances in the book, especially Mr. Tata's birthday, the way they celebrate it is very simple. And also in one instance, Shantanu does describe the situation where Mr. Ratan Tata actually drove him around the city. That is something we don't really get to see or hear about Mr. Tata, but Shantanu had helped us all with it, I guess. So do check out this book, I Came Upon a Lighthouse by Shantanu Naidu. Until next time, take care.